Okay, so I've gotten my paint laid out. I have the cobalt U, the wicker white, the teal, and the medium gray, and then I put my floating medium in the middle, and I'm just going to tap that so that they all kind of flatten out a little bit. Now, with your sponge, you'll want to get it a little bit wet. So I have my water, and I'm going to push it in there, and I'm going to squeeze it out really well. And before I start to paint, I'm actually going to take a paper towel and kind of press that onto that a little bit to get more water out. I don't want a lot of water, I just kind of want it damp. Okay, so I'm going to lay mine this way because this is how I'm going to practice. I'm crooked. Why am I crooked? There we go. So with a sponge, it's really kind of fun to play with the sponge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, you'll see there the roundness. I'm going to put some blue on this side of my sponge and then a little white on this side. So there and there. And I might pick up just a little bit of floating medium. And then I'm just going to go across and get a little bit more white and a little bit of floating. And this is really kind of cool because you will get different values, so you can see. The one thing you do want to remember is at the top, it should be just a little bit lighter because that's farther away, or closer to you, I'm sorry. And then as we get to the bottom, we're going to make it darker. I am, because it's going to be closer to my horizon. So I'm going to pick up some more blue. And that's quite dark. So I'm going to do some more white. And you can kind of see, let me bring this down so that it focuses better. You can kind of see it has got some value to it. There's some dark places, there are some light places. Okay, so I want to go ahead and let this dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold up my sponge, because we're going to use it again, and I'm going to put it in one side of my water bowl, just to keep it wet, just to keep it moist, because once it dries out, then it will it won't work anymore. You'll have to get a new one. So we're going to keep it soft, and I will be back in just a little bit once that is dry, and then we will practice crowds today. Okay, so we did the blacks and made grays, and we're going to go up to the white and do white. These are our primary colors, so we're going to work with those last, but I want to show you these and show you what they can do. So with white, I'm going to go ahead and put some more white on my plate, and then you can make quite a few colors with white. You can make pink, you can make light blue, you can make lighter yellow. So what I'm going to show you today is how to make a pink, and we're going to use our apple red with our white, and we don't want to mix them. We want to keep them separate for now, and we probably don't need a whole lot for the whole batch that we're going to make. And I'll leave those two here for us. So I went and got my better spatula. It's a little dirty, but that's okay. So with white, if we want to make a really light pink, we just take a little bit of red and we work it in. And I have quite a bit of white because we're just going to keep adding to. to make different darknesses and lightnesses of the pink. So you can see that made a really pretty pink. Just very light. And we could have used even less red, but that's a very pretty pink. Let me bring it up so you can see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get just a little bit of that and paint it here. Wipe off my brush. So then if I want to make it a little darker, I'll get just a little bit more red and work it in. So can you see that it's gotten just a little bit darker? And I'm going to paint that next to it. It's not terribly dark, but the next one I'm going to take a little bit more. And I'm going to work it in. And I like this spatula because I can, if I need it to be stiff, I can put my finger in it. If I need it to kind of mess around, move around, I can take my finger out. So there we have a third color of pink. And let's put that on here. And you can see it's just barely darker, getting darker. So then I'm going to use quite a bit of red. And I could have kept going, taking smaller, little bites of red and putting in here a little more, a little more, a little more. But you kind of got the idea of what happens with this. So you can see that's fairly, I have to wipe my brush off, that's fairly different. Okay, so those are whites. And the next one we're going to talk about are going to be the, let me wipe my spatula off. Basically, you can just wipe it off. You can run it through water if you want to and get it real clean, which I'll probably do later. But let's talk about the primary colors. My daughter's an artist, and she taught me a lot about color work, but then when I started painting, I took a color work class. And I knit, so I took some color work with that too. So I've gotten just a little bit better. If I have an issue with how to mix colors, like I had a brownish orangish, for a cake I was trying to make, and I had to talk to my daughter about it. She just tells you what colors to put in there and how much, and we had a blast. Okay, anyway, so we're going to talk about the primary colors. Now, primary colors, you can mix yellow with red to make orange, which we're going to do. You can mix red with blue to make purple, which we're going to do. And you can mix blue with yellow to make green. So there is a color wheel, and you might want to think about getting yourself one of those. Let me get a piece of paper that I can turn. Yeah, we'll do this one. It's a color wheel, and it has the colors on it, the red. I don't know if I have these in order, but they're like this, and then you can make your purples, and then you can put purple with red, you can put purple with yellow, you can make you can make browns, you can make all kinds. Red and yellow, see, my brain went dead for a minute. You make green and orange. Okay. So if you get yourself a color wheel, then you have something to compare your painting with. Now, I'm not going to use this because I don't want to get pink in with, the other colors. So I'm going to put that over here for now, and I'm going to get this one. Once they dry, once these plates dry, I use them again. I don't worry, because then the paint's dry and it won't mix up. Okay, so let's start with yellow. And I'm going to put a little bit of yellow. Yeah, my daughter's a real artist. I'm just a pretend one. Okay, and we're going to work with red. So I'm going to put the yellow, And the apple red, we're going to put just a little bit of apple red over here. And then it's just a matter of adding the amount you want. And we start with the lightest color. And I'm going to take a little bit of red and I'm going to put it in here. I had too much yellow, but that's okay. And as we mix this, you can kind of see it's starting to turn. There's my original yellow. It's starting to turn. Now, I don't think I have enough red on here, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and paint this on anyway. Let me get my brush. I just washed it out so that I don't get colors. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and put it right beside this one. And you can see it is a little different. I hope you can see that. It's just a very little different. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get just a little bit more red and put in here. And we'll mix this up really well. And I think I probably should have tried a different yellow, but that's okay. We're experimenting. If you get a basic yellow, if you have a basic yellow, these colors will turn out a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this on here. And you can see it's very, very little difference. And then I'm going to go ahead and get quite a bit of red. I'm not going to do 5 on here because you're kind of getting the picture, aren't you? That you can put as much or as little of your red and yellow together to make your colors. Yeah, I kind of think I should have tried a different yellow. I think this yellow probably has some other undertone under it. Now this isn't a bad orange, what I have here. Let's go ahead and paint that on. And again, I didn't do the 5. Yeah, it's just a little bit darker. Now you could keep adding more red if you wanted. That would not be a problem. But again, I'm using, let me show you what I have. I'm using a daffodil yellow, and this one in my right is a moon yellow. I could have tried this one. I thought this was more, I thought the daffodil yellow was more in keeping with a basic yellow, but evidently it's not. It might have a little white in it or something, which kind of skewed my colors, but that's okay. And I will try and do this and just put it up here for you to see after a while. Okay, let's go ahead. And I'm going to stop this video now for a minute and get things cleaned up so that we can do red and blue and make purple. Okay, let me stop this. I'll see you in just a minute. Okay, so, oh, it wants me to do, hang on just a minute, kids. Okay, something popped up. I had to do something. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I did do the moon yellow here, and you can see this is moon yellow and this is daffodil yellow, and they're very, very close. The moon yellow and the daffodil yellow, when they're mixed with red, they're very, very close. So I guess we're okay. I guess we're fine. So the next one we're going to do is red and blue, and this we're going to make purple. So I just washed my, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of, I'm going to go ahead and take the blue into the red, dark into light. So you can see I'm taking quite a bit. And again, you can make as much or as little as you want. And this is not doing a very good purple. It almost came out brown. Well, it's kind of a purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some white and just mix in this. There we go. So I mixed a little white in. And you can see then that it made a better purple. This one almost looks brown, although it could be because I don't have it mixed in as well as I really should. And I'm sure we could take some white and mix in here and make another kind of purple, a darker purple. But yeah, it is purple. It's not brown. It almost looks brown. But brown is made up of red. Remember that. Brown is made up of red. So I'm going to put a little dab of that. So you can see, you can make all kinds of purple with this. I could add more red. I could add more white. And if you play around with it, then you're going to see what becomes of your colors as you add things to it. What you can add black to it. Add a little bit of black. It will change the color of it. Okay, so the last one we want to do is we want to do blue and yellow. And I'm going to stick with the, oh, not bumblebee. I'm going to stick with daffodil. Where's my daffodil? See, this is what I'm saying. I got kits. I ordered kits, and they came with a whole bunch of colors, which you can use, but you can also make your own colors. So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad at all. Okay, so there's my yellow. And again, for this, I'm going to start just a little bit light. Add just a lit and take the dark to the light. And you can see I'm getting a very pretty light green. Very, very light. And I'm not going to mix that entirely. There we go. If I were doing a painting, I would mix these really well. But I would use a plate for each color instead of what I'm doing now. So I'm going to put a little bit of that green there. Can you see that? Let me get my brush. Nope. See, and again, if I were painting a picture, I would do a little better to keep my colors separate, and I would mix them really, really well. It takes me quite a while to mix, and I don't want to do that on the video with you. I want you to get the idea. And so you can kind of see this is a different green. And if I add more blue, it will become an even darker green. Almost a blue-green because I have more blue in than yellow. So let's go ahead and put that there. Now, what I want to show you is I'm going to go ahead and take some white and add to the green. And you'll see you do have a green color. And you could do that with each of these. You could add white to each of these. You do have a green color, although it's lighter. So the next one I want to do with you is I want to add, where's my black? I want to add a little bit of black and show you what black will do to your colors. And again, play with these. Please just enjoy playing with colors and making a mess. This paint is extremely reasonable. You can get it on sale for 99 cents. And so I play a lot. So I'm putting a little bit of black in there. Just a little bit. And I'm not doing it in the whole pile. I'm just trying to keep it localized. And you can see what you got with a little bit of black. So play with your colors. Have a lot of fun. Do experiments. Keep a record. You could write down what you did with this one. You could write down that you added black, you added white. Do that with all of your pages. And then when you get ready to make a picture, then you're going to have a nice record of how to make the colors that you like. This was really fun. I think my daughter will be really proud of me. Okay, I will talk to you again. Bye-bye. Join me next time. Bye-bye.